Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we are diving into October 2nd, 2025, and the breaking military news that has been unfolding across the globe. What we are witnessing right now is not just another series of updates, but a moment in history that could shape the balance of power and redefine how nations engage with one another on both strategic and tactical levels. The military developments being reported today carry enormous implications for security, diplomacy, and the future of warfare itself. So let's take a closer look at what's happening, why it matters, and how it could affect the world moving forward. The first major headline comes from Eastern Europe, where reports confirm that NATO forces have conducted one of the largest joint readiness drills in recent years. These exercises, spanning land, air, and sea components, are designed to test rapid deployment and multinational coordination in the event of a conflict scenario. What makes this significant is not just the scale of the operation, but the timing. Tensions in the region have been steadily rising, and the drills appear to be a clear signal of deterrence, meant to reassure allies while warning potential adversaries that NATO's defense posture is as strong as ever. Meanwhile, in the Asia-Pacific region, breaking reports highlight new advancements in naval technology. A major power has unveiled its next-generation destroyer, equipped with hypersonic missile capabilities and advanced radar systems capable of tracking stealth aircraft. Military analysts describe this as a leap forward that could shift naval balances in contested waters. The unveiling is not merely a technological showcase, but also a message of maritime dominance. The move is already drawing international reactions, as nations in the region assess how such a capability may alter freedom of navigation and regional stability. In the Middle East, breaking news centers around renewed cooperation agreements between long-standing partners. Defense ministries have announced new joint projects in drone technology, surveillance, and missile defense. These developments are especially relevant considering the region's history of instability and the ongoing challenges posed by non-state actors. By pooling resources and advancing defense integration, these nations are positioning themselves to respond more effectively to asymmetric threats. What's more, the agreements also serve to deter regional rivals who might see opportunities in division or disunity. Across the Atlantic, the United States has confirmed a major budget allocation toward artificial intelligence and autonomous systems within its armed forces. This includes AI-driven logistics, predictive maintenance for aircraft and vehicles, and even experimental projects in decision-making support for commanders. The focus here is not only about efficiency, but also about maintaining an edge in future warfare, where speed of information and decision-making could outweigh sheer numbers. Pentagon officials are calling this a revolution in how wars will be fought, emphasizing that the future of military power will be defined by those who can integrate human judgment with machine precision. At the same time, breaking reports from the defense technology sector indicate that hypersonic weapon systems are now reaching deployment stages in multiple countries. For years, hypersonics were discussed as experimental, but October 2nd, 2025 marks a turning point where these weapons are no longer theoretical. They are becoming operational. Their ability to travel at speeds exceeding Mach 5, maneuver unpredictably, and evade traditional missile defenses makes them a game changer. The introduction of these systems adds a new layer of complexity to global security, raising questions about arms control, deterrence, and the potential for destabilization if miscalculation occurs. In cyber defense, intelligence communities are reporting heightened activity suggesting that state and non-state actors are increasingly probing critical infrastructure. Power grids, satellite communications, and defense networks are being tested at an alarming rate. Governments are responding with urgent investments in cyber resilience and international coordination. What's clear is that cyber warfare is no longer a secondary concern. It is front and center, a battlefield where wars may begin before a single shot is fired. The events unfolding today only underscore how vulnerable modern societies are to digital disruption. Another critical development is the continued militarization of space. Today's breaking reports confirm that several nations have successfully tested satellite interception systems, raising concerns about the safety and security of orbital assets. Satellites are the backbone of modern communication, navigation, and surveillance, and the ability to disable them poses enormous risks to civilian and military life alike. International organizations are now debating how to establish rules of engagement in space before an incident sparks escalation. This is uncharted territory, where the lack of precedent means that missteps could have catastrophic consequences. On the humanitarian front, October 2nd also brings urgent updates from conflict zones where military actions are displacing large populations. Aid organizations are struggling to keep pace with the movement of refugees, while militaries on the ground attempt to balance operations with the need to protect civilians. These stories remind us that military news is not only about weapons, strategies, or alliances, it is also about people. Behind every headline, there are human lives affected, families disrupted, and futures put in uncertainty. The breaking reports today highlight that while technology races forward, the human cost of conflict remains as heavy as ever. Observers are pointing out that all these developments are interconnected. NATO drills in Europe, naval advancements in the Pacific, defense partnerships in the Middle East, and AI breakthroughs in the U.S. are not isolated events. They are part of a broader pattern, one where nations are preparing for a world that feels increasingly unpredictable. What stands out is the duality of deterrence and escalation. Every move meant to ensure peace also carries the risk of provoking a reaction. The news today reflects a fragile balance, where the line between defense and offense, reassurance and intimidation becomes increasingly blurred. For global citizens watching these headlines, the message is clear. The security environment of 2025 is one of rapid change. The pace at which new technologies are integrated into military structures means that doctrines must evolve just as quickly. Leaders are faced with the challenge of making decisions in an environment where information flows faster than ever, where threats are multidimensional, and where old treaties may not fully apply to new realities. October 2nd, 2025 is a snapshot of this new world, one where breaking military news is not just about battles or borders, but about the future trajectory of global order itself. As we reflect on today's developments, it is important to recognize both the risks and opportunities. On one hand, technological progress promises unprecedented capabilities to defend nations and maintain stability. On the other hand, it introduces uncertainties that could spiral out of control if mismanaged. This is why diplomacy, dialogue, and transparency remain essential even as militaries modernize. The headlines we see today must be understood not only through the lens of strength, but also through the lens of responsibility. The breaking news of October 2nd, 2025, teaches us that the world is standing at a threshold. Military power is being reshaped in real time, and the choices made now will echo for decades. The actions of nations today will determine whether technology becomes a safeguard for peace or a trigger for conflict. The responsibility lies with leaders, but also with societies, to demand accountability and wisdom in navigating this uncertain era. That's the full breakdown of the latest military developments, a comprehensive look at what's shaping the world right now. If you found this analysis valuable, make sure to stay connected, because the coming days will bring even more updates as the situation continues to evolve. The story of October 2nd, 2025 is not finished. It's only the beginning of a new chapter in global security, and we'll be here to cover it every step of the way. ChatGPT can make mistakes. Check.